Howdy again, everybody. This is Doc. It is finally here. It is Breeders' Cup weekend. We've waited all year for this to happen. I was actually supposed to be down there, but unfortunately with the COVID pandemic so nicely destroying everybody's plans for potentially attending this year, I'm going to have to suffer just like everybody else and watch it on the multiple platforms that are available. Oh, I am kind of looking forward to all the new technology supposedly they're going to be bringing out to make it as great a fan experience as possible without actually being there at the Breeders' Cup. Now, you can see behind me, this is the famous or infamous dartboard, and you might be thinking that, oh boy, he's going to do the dart thing again. Well, I am here to tell you that no, I am not going to do that. In fact, if I did not fear the arson charges, I would burn that sucker in effigy right where it's nailed to the wall. But, you know, we're always looking for new and interesting ways to pick horses in horse racing, and I have many times said that I am in no way, shape, or form a handicapper of any kind. I could not pick the winner in a walkover. But, you know, sometimes everybody has different ways of picking horses, and sometimes names just kind of jump out at you. And they're called hunch bets sometimes, where, you know, you just have a little hunch about a name or things like that. Well, we've taken the hunch bet thing to a whole new level. And I'm going to now explain how we are going to have some wordplay fun placing bets on the Breeders' Cup in each of the Breeders' Cup races, and a very special Pick 6 bet for Saturday's card will be coming up at the end. What exactly do I mean? Well, let's give you an example here on the start of Friday's Breeders' Cup card. If you too are royally pissed at the fact that since the 2nd of July, you can no longer go out after 5 to bars because of this COVID pandemic, then you should be looking to place a 9 and 13 exacta-box bet in the Juvenile Turf Sprint. See what I mean? Yeah, they don't get much better from here on in, folks, but try to stay with me. Moving on to the next race. If you just read the new mandate being put out for all those working in the public sector includes wording that forbids taking the Learjet or a Cadillac for any official travel, then you should immediately lodge an objection with your superiors and play the 2, 4, 5, 14 Superfecta box in the Juvenile Turf. Moving on. You can't simply decide whether the best way to describe Princess Noor is to say that she is crazy beautiful or just simply ravishing. Well, why not just say she's both? And, while you're at it, play the 1, 6, 7 Trifecta box in the Juvenile Fillies. I told you they don't get much better from here, but thanks for sticking along so far. If your Aunt Pearl used to tell you tales about her Spanish love affair that never received proper royal approval, and how she would get love letters saying how he would travel the length of the Odinata and back for her, then that is what true love just really looks like, and gives you a reason to play the 1, 5, 11, 12 Superfecta box in the Juvenile Fillies Turf. The final race on the Breeders' Cup Friday card. If you share the opinion that this Juvenile, there is no classier horse than Jackie's Warrior because he possesses that essential quality needed to win, then put a few large on him. And maybe a few bucks on the 5, 7, 8 Trifecta box in the Juvenile. So that's what we're talking about here. Fun play with words, just making horses' names fit into weird sentences that nobody really understands but the craziness that is right up here in my head. Moving on to Saturday's card. Asking a Serengeti Empress to come dancing with you down by the Venetian Harbor will likely get you hauled away by her security detail. But with your one phone call from jail, you can call into your ADW and place the 3, 6, 7 Trifecta box on the Filly and Mare Sprint. Deciding to wet your whistle with a little whiskey served in glass slippers just might make you feel like an extravagant kid. But to most, well, that just makes you weird. Either way, take your weird self up to the windows and play a 2, 5, 6, 14 Superfecta box in the Turf Sprint. If the complexity of being an art collector makes you realize in order to succeed at it, you need to basically be known as Mr. Money, Well, you might be able to get that moniker if you cash on a 1/6/10 Exacta box in the Dirt Mile. Most would consider that placing cayenne pepper on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich mucho unusual. But my sister Nat doesn't. So while I look to have her committed, I will also stop by the OTB parlor and place a 5/8/14 trifecta box in her soon-to-be straight-jacketed honor. Yep, this is what goes on up here, folks. Scary, ain't it? Moving on. Frank's Rockette never got a true chance to shine at Radio City Music Hall, but she did manage to build her empire of gold anyway by finding the ultimate field of rare Yapon to sell in Echo Town. And you perhaps can build a similar empire if your Superfecta box of 1/6/9/10 comes in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. If you two are wishing a safe passage to the beyond for the one master of the Bond, James Bond, films, Sean Connery, then in his memory you should be playing a 6/9 Exacta box in the Breeders' Cup Mile. Walking down the Dunbar Road under a harvest moon with your Lady Kate will certainly give the best vantage point to see that famous Swiss skydiver do her nighttime tricks, and gives you the perfect Superfecta box of 2, 3, 5, 6 in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. It was so incredibly magical how Lord North was a single-handed channel maker that allowed the kingdom to remain united, that it inspired you to bet a 2/6/7/9 Superfecta box in the Breeders' Cup turf. And now for the big one. By my standards, it is so improbable that Tacitus could have kept that authentic of a record of history that I am willing to bet a 1/3/8/9 Superfecta box in the Breeders' Cup Classic. So there are the wordplay bets for each of the races described and created by myself, Doc. Remember, you want to play those at your own risk. Please do not write me letters, but if you do want to find me later to discuss my picks, I will be available at the dumpster behind the Ritz for any and all commentary. And now finally, the big bonus, the Pick 6 play of Doc's wordplay is as follows. Mean Mary created such a stir with her new Hog Creek Hustle video, it quickly went viral in this digital age, causing a feeling of such valiance in her followers who deemed her performance so magical, they now know the likelihood of her not winning it all are improbable, as is the likelihood of a 4-12-5-8-2-8 Pick 6 play actually cashing on Breeders' Cup Saturday. But if it does, you have the one and only Doc from Thoroughfan here to thank for a new and different way to look at wagering on these Breeders' Cup races. So I do hope that everybody really does enjoy the Breeders' Cup. It actually looks like it's going to be some amazing cards, amazing races that are going to be run on the card. Even the undercard races are shaping up to be really good races too. So hope everybody enjoys this jam-packed 2 days of racing. It's just a fan's dream. The only thing that would make it better is if we could be there, but hey, we've all got to make those sacrifices, and hopefully next year things will be back to a quasi-normal where we'll all be able to really enjoy this in person. So again, play those plays at your own risk. Come up with your own wordplay ideas. If you have some cool ones, send them in to us at Thoroughfan. We'll be sure to share them. And again, hope everybody just loves the Breeders' Cup and the card that's put on. So may they all have safe trips. May they all come back safe. May it all be clean races. And we don't have to worry about the stewards having to decide anything in any of the outcomes. So I am Doc for Thoroughfan, and as always, if there is anything and everything that has to do with thoroughbred racing from a fan's perspective, there's only one place for you, the fan, to turn to for the most accurate and up-to-date information, and that is right here at Thoroughfan. Ow.